Alright, legends, welcome back. You crushed the like goal again. So here we are with part 10 of our story. I'm thrilled you're all hooked, and believe me, the best is still ahead. If you're hungry for part 11 today, let's smash 2,000 likes on this one. You know the deal, your support keeps this going. Now let's jump right back in. Hero Ingrid saying to Odin, "Stop talking and teach me a real move instead." Odin thinks to himself, how can someone stay this steady? His energy hasn't wavered since the start. Odin says, "This is round 7, Captain. Let's move on to the next style. Today, you're crawling. All the way back to camp. On your belly. Think you can handle that?" From afar, the blue-eyed panther watches Ingrid closely, silently observing. Meanwhile, Ingrid pushes himself as hard as he can, forcing his entire body to move. And just like Odin said, he crawls all the way back to camp. Reem looks over. "Captain, is someone hurting you here? Why do you keep letting yourself get beaten like this?" Ingrid replies, "I'm just training in isolation." The little panther pads over and curls up beside Ingrid. Reem chuckles. "That weird creature over there, let's give a name. Something like Ember." Ingrid says, "What about blue-black? Because of its eyes, deep blue with black." Reem teases, "What, you hate panthers? Why give it such a dark name?" Ingrid replies, "No, blue-black is a beautiful name. We'll think of a better one later. But if it's staying here, we'll need something to call it." Later, Ingrid drifts off to sleep. And in his dream, he wakes up in a strange place, surrounded by glowing flowers. He looks around. Is this a dream? That ghost doesn't belong here. Neither does that ugly statue. Where am I? He glances left and right, then turns around and sees a girl walking toward him. She stands right in front of him. "My name is Esther." Ingrid wakes up, back in camp. He finds a girl lying beside him. She looks at him silently. Ingrid smiles and says, "Well then, Esther, take care of me in the future." Then just like that, he closes his eyes and falls right back to sleep, like nothing happened. The next day, Reem says, "You heading out again?" Ingrid replies, "Yeah, time to train." Reem says, "You don't get tired? Didn't you take a hard hit yesterday? Don't you feel pain?" Ingrid replies, "Now that you mention it, my body actually feels lighter than usual." Esther, still in panther form, thinks, "Of course he feels lighter. I cast a spell on him. He's the one who can break my curse. If he gets himself killed, that's a huge problem." Reem asks, "Did you meet a priest last night or something?" Ingrid replies, "No way. But I did have a weird dream. I was talking to some mysterious woman who said strange things." Reem says, "Oh, so you dream like that too? What kind of woman was she?" Ingrid answers, "She was beautiful. Very beautiful." Esther smirks. "Well, at least he's got good taste." For a sorcerer, the thirst for knowledge is instinct. I became obsessed with studying spells and ended up cursed. My powers were stripped away and I was turned into a beast, wandering aimlessly until one day I was drawn to a powerful curse and met this man. Meanwhile, Odin is shocked. "I can't believe this. Captain, a body this injured should take at least a week to recover. And yet you're stronger than yesterday." We see Ingrid lifting massive stones. Esther, "How long have you been watching me?" Esther thinks to herself, "This idiot." The magical world reacts to names. My real name can affect my realm. I used all my remaining energy just to appear in your dream and tell you my name. But I messed up. My power wasn't stable, and I slipped up. Thankfully, this guy's kind of fool. He's clearly cursed, badly cursed. It's not fully rooted yet, but his curse is much stronger than mine ever was. Stronger curses slowly absorb the weaker ones. So, if I stay close to him long enough, I might fully recover my power. Later, Ingrid and Odin continue their training. Odin tries to sweep Ingrid off his feet with a kick. But Ingrid dodges, then grabs Odin's head and slams him to the ground. But even then, Ingrid gently supports Odin's head to soften the impact. Odin says, "Combat skills require physical fitness as a base. You build that before mastering swordplay. No matter how slow you are, like a turtle, your body is changing. Man, you really don't know how to quit, do you?" Ingrid reflects. A month passed quickly. By the time spring buds began to sprout, I had spent every single day in intense training. We see Ingrid sparring with Reem, who says, "You've gotten way better. Now I can fight you with everything I've got." Ragnar's off to the side, still chewing his food. The moment he finishes, Ingrid nudges him. All right, Ragna, time to burn off that meal. Ragna groans, what? I just took a few bites. After training, Ragna comments. Your adaptation is slow, Captain, but you've mastered the basics. There's nothing left for me to teach you. All you need now is repetition, over and over again, until the moves become second nature, like breathing while you sleep. Keep grinding. It'll be tough, but worth it. Ingrid said, yeah, repetition's the easiest thing for me. That night, he muttered to himself, training with the squad is fine, but I want to start real combat drills too. Then he suddenly sensed something coming his way. He swiftly caught a dagger midair, thrown by Jackson, that was just about to pierce his neck. Ingrid said with a smirk, at least this time, you won't die from a dull sword. You come a long way. Chris chimed in, if you're going to train, take it outside. Don't wreck the room. Ingrid asked, what are you doing back early? Aren't you still hustling for money? Chris glanced at Lester quietly, then said, just one claw from that beast, one has to be around here somewhere. That's all I need. That's the only job I got now, hunting down money. Ingrid thought, not sure if that's dedication or just plain greed. Suddenly, a knock at the door. It was the company leader, the elven woman. Captain of Unit 4, she said, come with me. I need you for something. As I stepped outside, Ingrid said, in the snow? She replied, don't worry about that. We'll talk later. There's a new mission. You've been assigned through the mercenary recruitment system. Ingrid thought to himself, the mercenary recruitment system, one of the two systems used alongside the soldier ranking system. It lets citizens hire trained military units instead of freelancers. It's cheaper, less violent, and just as skilled. These missions are in high demand, and I've been craving real combat. So this came at the perfect time. Elsewhere, a sleepy soldier groaned to himself. Finally, shift's over. These days it's just work, rest, over and over. Nothing ever changes. Suddenly, he spotted the company commander and Ingrid. Huh? The elf and Captain Ingrid. Ingrid asked, how many people are needed for this mission? She replied, 3 total. You're the squad leader, so you'll need to choose one of your men. I'll be the third. Ingrid thought she could have handled this alone, so why bring me into it? Meanwhile, that sleepy soldier watched from a distance, muttering, weird, they're together again? Rumor is they've been training privately. Is there something going on? Maybe they are dating? Ingrid asked her, why are you staring at me like that? She answered, being with me must be a burden on you. The eavesdropping soldier's eyes lit up. Wait, did I just hear that right? He ran off, spreading the gossip. I hurt myself. The elven captain and the spell breaker himself. No wonder they look at each other like that. They say they were close even before joining the army. Not only that, someone told me they even had a child already. The next day, Ingrid was training when 2 soldiers passed by, gossiping. Wow, you even managed to seduce an elf with that face. Dude, you're insane. Though to be fair, you two do look good together. Ingrid gave him a blank stare. What's happening? Who's spreading this? When he walked into the squad room, Reem called out, Daddy's home. Hey, Papa, when's the baby due? Huh, real soon, right? Ingrid shouted, what? No, it's not like that. Someone's spreading lies. Chris laughed. You're just shy, Captain. But you won't be able to hide it once that belly starts showing. Ingrid snapped. I told you nothing happened. Ragna teased. So what? You could have a wife and a martial arts mentor all in one. That's a win, right? Ingrid muttered to himself. Why does this feel like bullying? Reem added. When's the romantic trip? I mean, I don't mind being the third wheel. I can come along, right? Ingrid looked at him, puzzled. Wait, you're talking about the mission? No, I'm not bringing you. Reem gasped, what? Then who's going with you, Captain, if not me? Ingrid looked over at Jackson, who stood up and said, ready to go whenever you are, Captain. The two of them headed out. Reem shouted, you're ditching me for that cat? You traitor, Captain. You think I'd throw an axe at the client if he annoyed me? Ingrid replied, exactly. That's why you're not coming. Later, Jackson said, you know I could have caused trouble too, right? Ingrid answered, I just figured your experience with these mercenary recruitment missions would help. Jackson chuckled. Then let me give you a tip from one old man to another. Never give your heart to a woman too easily. She might not give it back in one piece. Ingrid rolled his eyes. I don't need life advice from you, old man. Let's move. When they arrived, the company commander greeted them. Ingrid asked, so when's the client getting here? She replied, should be soon. Ingrid thought, please don't let those rumors have reached the entire company. This is going to be so awkward. She turned to him and casually asked, "By the way, Captain Ingrid, have we done anything that could actually result in a child?" Ingrid stammered, "Of course not. Definitely not." Jackson burst out laughing. Ingrid turned to him. "You laughing?" Jackson looked up and said, "Oh, just admiring the birds. So pretty. You're lying. I heard you laugh." The commander asked, "Did my question bother you?" Ingrid answered, "No." She smiled. "Did it make you happy then?" "Also no." Ingrid muttered internally, "What is she trying to do exactly?" Just then, a carriage rolled into view. Jackson looked up. "Looks like the clients finally arrived." The elf muttered, "Tease, that was actually pretty fun." Ingrid's eyes narrowed. "Fun? You call that fun? After that mask act you pulled on me." He turned to the group. "All right, team. Our new mission is to guard the heir of one of the trade caravans. The Lockford trading caravan has requested protection from the military. Apparently, both potential heirs are feuding, and we're here to keep them from killing each other during the selection of the next leader." Honestly, Ingrid thought, I figured the caravan heir would be some greedy little frog-faced guy. But instead, a striking young woman stepped out of the carriage. "I'm Leona, heir to the Lockfred trading caravan," she said gracefully. "It's a pleasure to work with you all." The group welcomed her. Shortly after, they began moving again, escorting the caravan. Ingrid thought to himself, after that first greeting, silence took over. Not a word from her. The only information passed was from the nanny, who gave instructions on Leona's behalf. "We'll stay at the inn for now and wait for the other heir to arrive," she said. Seriously? Ingrid thought. She's relying on us for protection, but won't even speak to us? Odin added thoughtfully, every part of the body gives off some kind of signal. The way someone stands, their gaze, it all reveals strength if you know what to look for. Observation and analysis, Ingrid noted mentally. He glanced at the female bodyguard. Left-handed, heavy steps, her weight's bearing down on her body. Short sword hanging from her side. Looks like she's hiding some serious strength. None of them are elite, in my judgment. Still, for now, this basic read will do. Jackson nudged him. "Hey, want to break the boredom a bit? How about a little sound-guessing game, Captain?" "I'll go first, you answer." He closed his eyes. Rustling bag. "Where's it coming from?" Ingrid replied. "In front of the grocery shop across the road." Jackson nodded. "Rain hitting metal?" Ingrid shot back. "Blacksmith's alleyway." Jackson grinned. "A flickering tongue. That guy in front of the shoe store to the left." Ingrid smirked. "So it's not just about hearing. It's guessing accurately and fast. It's harder than I thought." The elven guard suddenly spoke. "Your rooms are upstairs." She glanced back. "Stay here for now." But the company commander raised an eyebrow. "Well, this just got interesting. Mind if I join in from now on?" Ingrid thought to himself, they say elves have sharper senses, double that of humans even. Jackson started again. A sword being sharpened. The elf responded instantly. "Second floor. Room across from the stairs." He continued, short blade being drawn then sheathed. "Front entrance of the inn." Jackson tried again. Muffled breathing behind a hand. The elf replied, "Outside the window." Ingrid thought, no doubt about it. These two are escalating, and fast. They're getting sharper the more they talk. But this was more than a game about sounds. "Someone's moving in silence," Jackson whispered. The elf calmly replied, "Right behind you." They turned, and sure enough, a soldier was creeping up behind the commander and Jackson. But the whole squad reacted instantly and launched a synchronized attack. "Huh, that was a preemptive strike," Jackson said. The squad leader nodded. "I agree." The rest of the enemy soldiers drew their weapons. One rushed at Ingrid, but he spun and drove a precise strike into the man's gut. Right then, he heard something from Leona's direction. Priority, protect the client. He dashed up the stairs. A thug hurled 3 knives at him, but Jackson stepped in, deflecting them with ease. The elf moved like lightning, cutting down the attackers with grace and fury. One of them shouted, "What is with this monster?" Another replied, "Don't panic. We got the numbers." Jackson launched into another opponent with a sharp blow. The squad commander observed quietly. Members of squad 4 outperform even their leader, yet they follow him without hesitation and trust him completely. What's the secret behind that kind of loyalty? Fascinating. She took down someone who had rushed toward her, killing them instantly. Meanwhile, we cut back to Ingrid as he continued climbing the stairs. He thought to himself, first there was the hired assassin targeting Crank. Then, the half-elf I fought recently. But attacks like these don't faze me anymore. Suddenly, Someone leaped up from below and lunged at Ingrid. "Where do you think you're going?" the attacker shouted. Ingrid met him with a calm reply. "This is the strength I've earned. All the training I did in combat arts. Sure, Odin kept calling me a duck. But I know now. My movements have changed completely." He landed a devastating kick that shattered the man instantly. At the same time, we see the female guard stumbling out from where Eliona was badly wounded. One of the assassins had slipped past and was about to kill Eliona. Ingrid assessed the scene quickly. A dagger at close range. It's not the right move. With my current skill, there's no way I'll make it in time. Even if I run, I won't get there fast enough. There's one move I saw a knight perform. A way to close the distance in one explosive dash. It's impossible for someone at my level to fully copy it. But maybe I can pull off a partial version. Ingrid focused and sprang forward with incredible speed. He reached the assassin just in time. The blade struck the armor on Ingrid's back, not his flesh. That armor had been a gift, taken from the Gelband gang. The impact still stings, Ingrid thought, but thanks to this hardened leather armor, I didn't suffer any real wounds. He grabbed the assassin. "What do you say? Why don't you and I go have a little chat downstairs?" Then, without hesitation, Ingrid hurled himself and the attacker out the window. They crashed down hard, Ingrid using the man's body as a cushion. He hit the ground and thought, "Perfect. I used him to absorb the fall. Only 2 stories high, not too bad." But the assassin stood back up, surprisingly resilient. He must have taken the full brunt of that fall, Ingrid thought. Still, he's up already, tough guy. The assassin pulled out a second blade and sneered. "What are you, crazy? Are you from a border patrol?" Ingrid answered calmly, "No." The man grinned. "Good. If you're not border patrol, then you've got no chance of beating me." Ingrid observed him closely. 2 blades, different lengths, but he's perfectly balanced. This guy's a skilled swordsman. If he weren't, I'd never have to worry. The assassin sneered. "I'll kill you first, then go back and finish off the girl." But Ingrid interrupted him, smirking. "You talk too much." He pointed to his stomach. "Want to hit here next?" The assassin snapped and charged. Ingrid's senses sharpened. I've waited long enough for this. In battle, when your opponent reveals their technique, that's when the real fight begins. Now, what technique should I try on this guy? Let's see how many pieces I can slice him into. The assassin struck, but Ingrid dodged cleanly. He dodged the second strike, then the third, and the fourth. Finally, Ingrid stood still, calm, composed, even mocking. The assassin looked on, shaken. "This bastard," he read everything I did. Ingrid smirked. "It's something you'd envy, right? I've got no natural talent. That's why I never learned these techniques the easy way. But I sharpened my speed, my accuracy, those are my blades now. And my control, it's something else entirely." The swordsman in front of Ingrid shouted, "What are you even doing, you lunatic?" But Ingrid activated what I'll now call ocean technique, a fluid, immersive skill that allows him to sense every motion around him, even down to the movement of swords and the path of his own blade. He muttered, "Yeah, there it is. That's your attack line." And just as the enemy closed in, aiming for Ingrid's arms, Ingrid dodged both swords with perfect timing, then countered with a single, precise thrust. His blade pierced straight through the man's chest. "Damn," Ingrid said. "I was aiming for his heart, but missed it." He pulled his sword out as the man collapsed. "There's still so much I can't do well," he admitted. "Maybe I'll need more training with Rajna to beat him." In that moment, the remaining assassins began to flee. Ingrid shouted, "We have to capture them." But Jackson appeared from behind. "You've been fighting for a while now. What are you doing?" "They're getting away." Ingrid pointed. Jackson replied casually, "Yeah, I noticed, Captain." Ingrid snapped. "So we're just letting them go?" Jackson said calmly. "Catching criminals isn't the priority here. As long as they're far enough away, our assignment's safe." Ingrid thought to himself, "So we're only meant to target the required kills." Just then, the commander of the 4th Company stepped in and smirked. "Impressive, Captain Ingrid." He smiled back. "Glad you're all right, Commander." She raised an eyebrow. "At this rate, I won't be sleeping tonight if I have to handle all the petty cleanup." Yona jumped in teasingly. "Are you 2 married or something?" Ingrid quickly responded, "Of course not." The commander shot him a look. "You wasting your time flirting?" Ingrid raised his hands. "Okay, what's even going on here?" Yona turned to him. "What's your name?" He answered Ingrid. She smiled. "Thanks for protecting me back there. And for the injury, I'll make it up to you." But Ingrid cut her off. "No need. I've got a mission to handle right now." Later that night, Ingrid narrated, "We're transferring a few captured attackers. We've assigned shifts all day to prepare in case there's another strike." The identity of the attackers was suspicious. Some of them were skilled, which means this wasn't just petty banditry. As expected, the other side clearly had hidden motives. Suddenly, Yona arrived. "Were you on duty when the incident happened?" Ingrid nodded. "Yes, it was during my shift." Yona smiled. "Then, Ingrid, come with me. I want to offer you a chance to serve as a personal guard for the Lockfree Trading Company." She explained, "Our company isn't just any old merchant group. We have powerful allies, like the Shadow Guardians of the Wildlands, the Black-Eyed Guild who are said to even hunt dragons, and the Ice Wardens who protect the frozen frontier. Our trade route map, carried by Lockfree's convoys, is so valuable it could buy someone a life of luxury. But instead of passing it to some spoiled heir of the former leader, I've decided to protect our legacy. And for that, I need someone with your skills. You saved me when I was close to death, and you asked for nothing in return. Our company offers a position any sane person would dream of. I doubt you'll be the exception. So what do you say? Come with me. Be the Lockfreed Company's personal protector. Leave the army behind." Will Ingrid accept the offer and leave the military behind? Or will he turn her down and keep walking the path of a warrior? And that's the end of part 10. But trust me, this is just the calm before the storm. If you're ready for the next insane chapter, smash that like button, drop your wildest predictions in the comments, and stay locked in. Because part 11 is going to be next level. Stay legendary, and I'll see you there.